Can you actually retire at 57 with £285,000? Now, whilst I don't get that exact question every day, I absolutely get asked things like, I've got X pounds saved up, when can I retire? And how much do I need to retire at age Y? So today, together, we're going to explore what is possible, and I'm going to tell you a truth you might not be expecting. After almost 40 years in financial advice, I've seen it all. People thinking their savings will last forever, only to find out that they are really falling short. So is £285,000 really enough to retire on at 57? Well, the answer depends on a lot more than you might think, and it's not as simple as a number. I'm looking forward to breaking it down for you all. No fluff, no gimmicks, whether you're single or married, and the key factors that will make or break your retirement plan. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do to make sure £285,000 won't leave you stuck or surprised in your later years. So stick with me, folks. It's time to get real. Now, if you think saving a chunk of money is all you need to do for retirement, then you better think again. The truth is, without a clear plan, your retirement dreams could quickly turn into a financial nightmare. Retirement isn't just about how much you've saved, it's about how long that money will last based on the decisions you make every single day. The duration of your savings entirely depends on your lifestyle, your expenses, and the multitude of surprises you will no doubt encounter along the way. Consider this. Will you still be paying a mortgage? Will you rent? What about home maintenance? These are really important expenses to build into any plan. Your daily living costs will include things like groceries, your bills, and those little luxuries you really don't want to give up. We like to set our clients up for retirement where they can enjoy life, which means making sure they are budgeting properly for holidays, hobbies, and socializing. It's not just about scraping by, folks. As we age, medical costs tend to rise. Are you prepared for those potential healthcare expenses, I wonder? But here's the rub, folks. Inflation, economic shifts, and expenses you've failed to anticipate can drain your savings much faster than you think and take all the fun out of everyday life. A nest egg that seems substantial today might not stretch as far as you'd hoped. So getting back to our £285,000, what can that really get you in retirement? Let's crunch some numbers and find out. We're going to analyse two scenarios, one for the single folks amongst you and another for a couple. In both cases, we assume a retirement age of 57. Inflation is projected at 2% per year based on the government's long-term strategy. And whilst investment growth is estimated at a conservative 4%. We've also built in that full state pension of £11,502 in today's terms per year is due from age 67. Now let's talk longevity. We forecast until age 90, as the lovely folks at the Office for National Statistics suggest that's our expiry age. And whilst falling off the perch is not something even my crystal balls can predict, using 90 years of age helps ensure long-term viability of any plan you build. And a quick reminder that all these calculations assume that inflation, investment growth, and pension amounts remain as per the assumptions, which you've just made a minute ago. So use the rewinder if you want to get a reminder. However, in reality, of course, these figures are subject to fluctuation over time. Anyway, let's get on. Here we have Tony, a single gentleman with £285,000 in his pension. Based on our assumptions and calculations, this little nest egg would be sufficient for him to expect a total income of £1,500 per month from age 57 until he turns 90. Now, whilst £1,500 may cover the basics, it could fall short when it comes to extras like travel or healthcare or just extra fun and frolics. If Tony's renting his home, this income may feel especially stretched. However, when Tony reaches the age of 67, his state pension will kick in. This means that instead of drawing the full £18,000 a year from his pension, he'll only need to take £6,411 from that pot. The state pension will top up the rest, bringing his annual income back to £18,000 a year, which is £1,500 per month. And the key takeaway here is that for a single individual, £285,000 can provide a solid foundation, but it requires thoughtful budgeting at all times. With strategic planning, reducing unnecessary expenses, and wise investing, Tony can make his pension last longer and provide the flexibility he would much prefer. Right, now let's take a look at Sue and her partner Mike. Together, they've got combined pension pots of £285,000. It's £142,500 each for the purposes of these calculations. Based on our calculations, this pot would be enough for them to expect approximately £2,100 per month until they both hit 90. Now, this is, of course, a significantly more comfortable budget to adhere to than the £1,500 a month for a single person. And there are two main reasons for that. Firstly, the old adage, two can live as cheaply as one, well, kind of, but you do get me drift, I'm sure. Sharing costs like housing, utilities and transportation makes retirement more affordable for couples. The second reason is that when Sue and Mike turn 67, both of the state pensions will kick in. So instead of having to take the £2,100 per month from their pensions, which is £25,200 a year, they'll only need to take £2,195 annually, with the state pensions covering all of the rest. So once again, what's the key takeaway here? Whilst $285,000 might feel tight for a single person, two people enjoying life together in retirement can have more flexibility and a greater chance of maintaining a more comfortable lifestyle. Retirement might feel like a distant dream, but what if it could come sooner or be more financially secure than you thought? The key lies in making smart choices now. If you're staring at £285,000 in your retirement fund and you're wondering how to make it stretch, here's the playbook you need. Number one is pension consolidation, and we talk about this all the time because it's so important. If you've switched jobs a few times over your career, you'll very probably have multiple pension pots scattered across different employers. It's really common, and the average number is 5. Managing multiple pensions is like herding kittens. It's time consuming, it's frustrating, and actually it's nigh on impossible to get right. But by consolidating them into one modern pension, you can improve visibility, you can manage your fees, you can simplify your finances and open the door to a far wider range of investment options. It's all about efficiency, and who doesn't love that? Number two is maximizing your pension contributions. Would you like to pay less tax and seriously boost your pension pot before you do hit retirement? Well, salary sacrifice is a genius strategy. By sacrificing any part of your salary that you don't need for today's lifestyle, you can divert that to your pension fund now. You'll pay less tax and you'll pay less national insurance too. And best of all, you can watch your savings grow faster. So not only is it a smart move, but it also gets you that sweet tax relief. If your employer doesn't support salary sacrifice, you can set up a standing order from your bank account into your pension, and here presto, basic rate tax relief will turn £100 into £125 almost overnight. And high earners can get their extra tax relief via self-assessment. So why not get the tax man to help you save and get your future self a proper head start? Number three is stretch your savings. Now, it's not at all unusual to feel you aren't ready to fully hang up your work boots. I mean, what on earth will you do with all that free time? That's okay. Even working a few extra years or switching to part-time can make a massive difference. Every extra year you work means more time to save and less reliance on your pension, savings and investments. You're simply pressing the slow-mo button on your retirement clock, which of course is a win-win. Smarter investing is number 4, and it's time for a real reality check. Keeping all of your money in a low-interest savings account, does that sound like you? Well, that's a one-way ticket to doom over time, thanks to inflation. Investing your money wisely, whether it's in stocks and shares or property, can help it grow and keep up with inflation. And let's be real, who wouldn't want their money working as hard as they do? Or did, if you're retired. Now, if you've got more cash than you need to consider making a one-off contribution into your pension. As an example, you can turn £10,000 into £12,500, another 25% return for basic rate taxpayers, and it's actually a 66% return for higher rate taxpayers once you build in the relief. And for those of you that are thinking, but basic rate tax is only 20%, the maths is £10,000 divided by 80 times 100. So get your calculators out, folks, if you don't believe me, or ask good old Google. Number 5 is expense management. Well, retirement isn't about scrimping and saving and living like a hermit, we hope, but it's about smarter budgeting. Cutting out unnecessary expenses, unused subscriptions, lying about, Netflix, too much on Sky, and you must keep your Amazon habit in check, by the way. It will extend the life of your wealth. So take a closer look at where your money's going. A few small changes to your habits could add up big time. So here's my final thoughts on whether £285,000 is in fact enough to retire on at 57. Well, for singles, it's not impossible, but it's going to take some sharp planning. Think strict budgeting, making smart investment choices, and keeping a really close eye on your expenses. For couples, you've got a bit more flexibility. Shared costs and dual state pensions can give you a proper breather, but don't get complacent, folks. Planning is still really key. In the end, retirement isn't just about the money you have, it's about how you manage, how you invest, and when you stop working, it absolutely must work for you. If you play your cards right, $285,000 can absolutely be enough to fund a very strong retirement. But what if you could retire even earlier than you think? If you're curious whether quitting the 9 to 5 and retiring early is actually possible for you, check out the next video, Can You Really Retire Early? We're going to dive into how to make your dream retirement a reality. Click the link here and I'm going to see you there.